She has a face that has graced 1,000 magazine covers and is a body on years of well-thumbed calendars. And now at 31, Elle Macpherson is a virtual industry. The young thing who went to New York as a 17-year-old to earn some pocket money now has bags of the stuff. Her business interests range across fashion and underwear labels, videos, movies, and Elle Inc. now has a new venture, a New York restaurant. It was in New York, corner of Rockefeller Plaza and West 51st Street. I was invited to a party for the opening of Elle's new restaurant. There was a problem. The rest of New York seemed to have the same invitation I had. Then, across the dark and crowded room, I saw her, Elle. I'm sure our eyes met for just a second before she vanished from sight. This night, our meeting was not to be, but I did run into her boyfriend, the rich, handsome and debonair Englishman, Tim Jeffries.
Charles, my old mate and mucker.
I'm looking for your girlfriend.
She's in there, Charles. You are not going to find her unless you have one of these.
I got one of these.
And a face like this.
It wasn't until the next day that I got to meet Elle. Come up and see my painting, she said.
Normally I don't let people come in here, but
I'm privileged.
There's only one reason why I'm in here, because I wanted to show you one of my favourite paintings.
Isn't that fantastic?
It's Sydney Nolan's and Ned Kelly. It feels so Australian, just the colours, that blue, and I don't know, it just feels so Australian. There's not a person that sees this painting that doesn't, love it. Even if they know nothing about art, they're like, oh, it's so beautiful. Makes me happy.
Elle has lots of reasons to be happy. She's in demand, one of just a handful of supermodels who can name their own price, and invariably do. She's been on the cover of every fashion magazine that can afford her. She's got her own fashion label in things so scanty there's hardly room for a label. She's in the movies. She's in her own fitness videos. She's everywhere.
Yeah, at the moment it's a very kind of tough workload. But it's good because it's inspiring, you know, it's keeping me interested and it's keeping me excited, and I've always said that the thing that interests me most in my work is to diversify, and that's what I'm doing now.
Do you think this madness is a product of turning 31?
Well, it's a good kind of madness.
And now there's the restaurant venture with supermodel mates Claudia Schiffer and Naomi Campbell. Partners in their own restaurant and not a big eater among them. What a waste.
Will fat people be allowed to eat there?
Everybody will be able to eat there. It's going to be you know, classic American food with an Italian twist. We've all put in like menu suggestions. For example, I'm doing shrimp on the Barbie. Naomi's doing English fish and chips, and Claudia's doing I think she's doing apple pancakes or something like that. The star is born.
Elle Macpherson obviously didn't become the body by eating in restaurants like hers. But then she's amazed she became a supermodel at all.
My mother always said I was a beautiful child. But I look at pictures, I think I looked horrendous. I looked like a monkey when I was born. And I'm not doing the whole ugly duckling syndrome. I mean, it was normal, but awkward.
I've got a lovely bunch of strawberries.
You know, tall and thin and kind of lanky and awkward.
So when was it apparent, even to you, that you were in fact exceptionally beautiful?
Never. The truth is never. You know, I've never really found myself particularly beautiful. I understand that I have, you know, lots of great qualities, but I never look in the mirror and think, oh my God, you are just fabulous.
So what is it about Elle that makes her Elle? Dispassionately, she says it's all a matter of proportion.
having broad shoulders, a small head, a long neck, long legs, a short body, long arms. You know, those are kind of like mathematical equations that make for a proportion that is photogenic.
And which, in a strange way, lots of women who have none of those things try to emulate.
I've always tried to really portray the type of image that is more accessible than inaccessible. For example, when you look at the theme behind my workout video, which I think is coming out in Australia very shortly, I'm really happy it's #1 here.
We'll have a look at a clip
It's
from
#1.
it now.
Oh, you probably will.
Now, these might be hard to do, but they're really, really good for your chest, so stick with it. Okay.
The striking feature about Elle is the shape she's in. But who knows how many push-ups and sit-ups she's condemned to do to stay this way. You too can have a body like this? Well, up to a point.
Down, spread your fingers wide. Push
The kind of workout that we present is something that can put you, the public, and anybody in the best shape that you can be in. And that shape, if it's in the best shape that you can be in, is always good. Do you know what I mean? You may be taller, you may be shorter, but if you are in shape, you're in shape.
But there's no substitute for genes.
There is no substitute for genes.
I mean, you read surveys, most women think they're fat. Most women aren't happy with the way they look.
Right.
Are you in any way responsible for this?
I don't feel that I'm responsible for this, because I've always tried to portray the most positive image to people, you know. Again, with the workout video, a lot of the things that we say is, you know, the most important is the way you feel about yourself.
But Elle is an obvious target for feminist critics. Firstly, there was her nudity in the film Sirens, for which she put on 20 pounds.
Someone's coming! Hide!
And then her appearance in Playboy magazine, which really had them gunning for her. But far from being an enemy of the women's movement, Elle says she's an advocate.
I think that I'm a perfect example. Here I am. That's why I laugh at some of these feminists that call up and say, you know, don't you see yourself as being degraded? You're just a sex symbol for men and da-da-da. It's like, wait a second, what is the whole basis of feminism? I am independent. I am in control of what I do. I am my own boss. I am involved in a business that is run by women, for women. What more do you want?
And while we're exploring a couple of the body's raw nerves, we may as well hear what she has to say about the Australian media.
Now, there's a bookshelf over there, and I can see lots of titles from Jung through to Henry Miller and a lot of art books in between. Yet I read that you say you never read anything that you haven't written yourself.
Oh, this is such a load of hogwash. I can't remember the name of the journalist, and if I could, I would really dish you so badly on national television right now. I never said half the things that he said. He said, I never read too many books, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. The press, you know, they build you up to be a certain type of superstar, and then, once they've got bored with doing that, then they have to decide to bring you down. And I've heard about it, the tall poppy syndrome and things like that.
So only believe half of what you read.
Don't believe anything, unless it's see it on 60 Minutes.
Elle's just finished making a new movie called If Lucy Fell, in which she plays against the stereotype.
You know, the way that she dresses is very downbeat, and she doesn't wear any makeup, she doesn't wear any hair, and she dresses in men's clothes.
Hardly typecasting, eh?
No, not at all. You know, we try to like really play against my beauty in it.
But the headlines say, Elle plays a frump.
Probably, but if they say that, then I've done my job.
Elle succeeds as frump.
Perfect, Forrest Frump. But it was, you know, I had so much fun doing it, despite all the speculations that I was having this torrid affair with my co-star.
Elle says that speculation was simply mischievous. Her present bloke is that nice young man we met earlier in the restaurant, Tim Jeffries, a jogger and an art dealer.
The technique is making a photograph without a camera.
That's one thing that Tim and I have in common, is a love of art.
You're no slouch with dough either, are you? So it is an investment, I take it.
Well, I would hope that it's an investment. Whether it's a good investment or not, I don't know.
With her film career, with her fashion label, And with possibly a chain of fashion cafes, it really does seem that Elle is looking to the future. Possibly because at the ripe old age of 31, in an industry full of skinny teenagers, she can see the end of the runway looming. Is there a delicate way to put the question?
We talk about growing into your 30s as a model. Is there a
Right.
use-by date? Sorry, I was
Is
going
there
to
a use-by date? Excuse me. Can't believe you're asking me that.
I can't believe I
Here you
said
are,
that
you're
either.
sitting with me. I'm a woman. We're having very interesting conversations. You're asking me if I have a use-by date?
Probably that was not the delicate way.
Oh, I know it's a shocking phrase.
If I have to answer that question in a way that is kind of reasonably intelligent.
Even if the question wasn't.
Even if the question is not really one that... as you know, I think that as a woman, you look, particularly in the industry, you have role models, Isabella Rossellini, Cheryl Tiegs. The list goes on and on and on of women that are in their 40s and 50s that are symbols of beauty. The more I grow as a woman, the more comfortable I am physically with myself. And I think that, you know, for nothing in this world would I go back to being 20 years old and feeling insecure.
You're happy?
I'm happier than I've ever been. I feel very content. Manic, but content.
Hello, I'm Adam Hegarty. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.